Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is LaDonna. I'm a homeschooling mom of two, and on my channel, I just like to share what we're learning, how we're growing, and what God is doing in our lives. Okay, today's video is probably one of the most highly requested videos that I get. If it is so highly requested, why have I waited this long to make this video and put it out there? Well, I wanted to make sure that number one, my thoughts were clear. Number two, I had gone through the curriculum far enough to give a in detail review, and also I just kind of wanted to spend some time praying about it. I don't want you to think that I'm going to give a bad review. That's not what I'm going to do, but I just want to give the most helpful information that I can. Like, I don't want this to be strictly my opinion. I want to think about what we've experienced, what we've learned, what I've liked, what I haven't liked. I just really want to give you something that is of value, so to speak. So anyway, that was kind of a bumpy intro, but we're just gonna go with it. Okay, so what am I going to be reviewing today? I'm going to be reviewing our history curriculum. This year for history, we decided to go with the Mystery of History Volume 1. I'm going to turn this over. I don't know if you can see our bookmark. That's my bookmark right there. We completed lesson 83 today. Now, this curriculum has, let me flip one over to the front really quick. Man, I'm getting my words all jumbled. There are 106 lessons within this book. This is volume 1. We completed 83 today, so that kind of gives you an idea as to where we are in here. We don't have very much left, but I feel like this is a good place for me to be able to answer some of the questions that I get in regards to this curriculum. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I do have a list. I wrote out my details, or I wrote out my thoughts, I prayed about them, and I want to make sure that I am giving you something that is of value. So I'm just going to get started. I'm not going to read this word for word, but I am going to look down a lot because, again, I don't want to skip over something. I'm not exactly sure what you may be looking for in regards to a history curriculum, but I want to make sure I hit every point as to how this is made, how it works, and basically kind of what we've thought about it, and I may be sharing if we're going to be continuing with it. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is the first volume within the Mystery of History curriculum set. The book that I have right here is the 3rd edition. This book is hardback, as you can see. Hopefully the glare isn't too crazy. And it is in full color. Let me see if I can kind of give you a rough flip through. The book is absolutely gorgeous. That is one of my favorite things about this curriculum. It is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I believe that this is the newest edition of volume 1. So volume 1 covers ancient history, its creation to the resurrection. So anyway, let me just go ahead and jump into this. So Mystery of History teaches world history. What drew me to this curriculum? Basically, what I was looking for in a history curriculum, I wanted my children to see that our faith in God is not based on personal opinion, right? It is based on the facts of God's existence. Our faith, the Bible, is a part of history. It's not separate. So I was really looking for something that kind of brought both of those two things together. Does that make sense? And Mystery of History does do that, and they do a good job of it. So basically, it is a history curriculum that takes world history and the Bible and shows you how the two fit together, how the two go hand in hand, and I love it. And that's really what drew me to it. Another thing that drew me to it was just the affordability and how Mystery of History does that. So obviously right off the bat, you know that this has a Christian world view. Another thing I want you to know is that it teaches from a young earth perspective, and that was something else that I was looking for in a history curriculum. One of the really cool things that Mystery of History does to teach history is that they teach it in chronological order. So each volume focuses on a different time period, but the events are taught in order. Again, this is taught from a young earth perspective. So if that is not something that you are teaching within your homeschool, you need to consider that. Okay, another thing you need to keep in mind, this approach to history, this curriculum takes a very classical approach. What I mean is that this is the first volume of 4 volumes. So the idea is that you go through each book in sequence, and then once you're done, you start over. So this is very classical in its approach to history. Again, the book is gorgeous. The curriculum is affordable. There is an audiobook available. I did not purchase it. I wanted to purchase it, but I could not find it anywhere. It was not available. I did kind of look on eBay, but it was more money than what I wanted to spend, so we just kind of didn't do that. There is a companion guide that goes with it. The really neat thing is, if you buy this book, when you open the front cover, there is a code that you can use to download a free version of the companion guide. I decided to not go that route. I decided to buy the companion guide. It did not come with this binder. It came, you know, as a stack of loose leaf papers, and I just put it in the binder myself. The reason why I did that is because I knew that I was going to be using some of the worksheets, and I just didn't want to print all of that stuff off, so I bought it. I think the it's probably not on here. It was affordable. I think that this was probably maybe $40, but I mean, if you look at how much is in here, you can see why. The companion is not in color. It is not like the book. It is just black and white, and I believe I can say the same thing for the PDF download. Some other things, I don't want to get too much into this. You can go to her website and you can check it out, but there are some recommended companions to go with this. One of those is the Historical Atlas of the World. This was something that was inexpensive that I purchased on Amazon, and then also the Student Bible Atlas, and she lets you know which edition you need to purchase. And then they also recommend that you buy the Homeschool in the Woods timeline figures. We did buy it, and as you can tell, we didn't use it. We decided early on to not do the timeline. We were gonna do it, but when I started looking into it, I honestly just felt like it was busy work, and we just didn't do it. So there it is. But you know what? We've gotten along quite nicely without doing the timeline. So if you want more information on that, you can check out her website. There are some other things that they recommend that will enhance this curriculum. You don't need them. It's just there as an option. However, you will need the companion, but like I said earlier, if you buy the book, there is a code for a free PDF download of the companion. So what are some really nice things about this? It's easy to use. It's very simple. The directions are all in the front. I don't want to open up to the page, but the directions are all in the front. There's a letter to the parent. There's a letter to the student. There's a table of contents. Maybe if I hold it up, you guys can see it better. But everything is here. It's easy to use. Another thing is, you know, the lessons are short, and I'm not gonna lie, that's definitely appealing. Like over here, this is lesson 12. You can see where it starts. Well, when you just flip the page, there it is. and it ends. Now, I don't know exactly what some of the activities were that went along with that, but they typically didn't add too much time. But again, the lessons are short. It's open and go. It's very easy to use. History of History advertises that it's intended for grades 1st through 12th grade, so you can do this as a family. Like I said earlier, there are 108 lessons. They recommend that you do it 3 days a week, so if you do it based on the recommended schedule, you will get this done in about 36 weeks. We did take that recommendation, and I would say yes, it is taking us that much time to do it. So what's in the companion guide? Let me move this over here. What's in the companion guide? So this is where you're going to find your activities. It's basically set up the same way. You would turn to your lesson for the day, and you would just read what you would just read through the activities. It's broken up in 3 sections. You have younger students, middle students, and older students. What are some of the activities that you would find? You would find a whole lot of activities. You would find word searches. Maybe there was an opportunity for them to reenact what they had just read. Maybe there was an opportunity for them to build what they had read about. Maybe it was a research activity. Those are kind of the activities you would find in this companion. One of my favorite things about this curriculum, hands down, the review built in here is really good. I really like it. The review is weekly. It's not done in the same style every week, but it is there, and I really do love it. We're not doing the review as much as we were in the beginning, but when we were, I definitely felt like it was beneficial. There are also mapping activities within this curriculum, and like I said earlier, they encourage your students to do a timeline. Okay, I flipped my page over. Okay, so now let's get into this. I said earlier that this advertises that it is recommended for 1st graders through 12th graders. If you were doing this as a family, I would say yes. But if you are just handing your child the curriculum and expecting it to be student-led, I would say no. The way that this book is written, I believe it is written at a higher reading level, and the comprehension level I also believe is higher. I think that personally, if you were going to hand this to your child and you were expecting them to do this on their own, I would not recommend it for anything below 5th grade. I say that because of the way it is written, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment. I think for anything under 5th grade, it would be too difficult. I think it would create too much stress for everybody. I think that if your child was going to be doing this on their own, it's appropriate for middle school, not elementary school. Now, if you were doing it as a family, yes, it would be fine, but not student-led on their own. Now, one of the biggest things that I want to talk about, and this is within the realms of the questions that I get about Mystery of History. Okay, I think sometimes people think because there's more information out there about Story of the World, this is like Story of the World. It is not like Story of the World. Story of the World is written in a story format, right? Like it teaches history from storytelling. But this curriculum, Mystery of History, is not written in story format. It gives facts, okay? It gives information. However, it is written in a very conversational way. So when I am reading this, I feel like I am saying this from my own thoughts, right? Like that is how it reads. It reads like a conversation. I preferably don't like that because I feel like it makes it a little bit harder. When it comes to history, I would much rather the facts are a story format so there's not anything lost in translation. Does that make any sense? I also feel like it's a little bit harder for my children to understand because I'm reading it and it's written in a conversational way. I feel like this style makes it a little too informal. I hope that that is clear. I hope that that makes sense, but because of the conversational style, I feel like I'm answering more questions than I should be. If that makes any sense. Because of the style, because of the format, I also feel like it just makes it super cut and dry. I think I would really prefer the facts over it being written in a conversational way. I feel like it just makes it more difficult to take. Now, not all lessons are like that. Some flow better than others, but because of the effort that was put in to make it a conversational piece, it's just, sometimes it's like, it's just too cut and dry, The information in here is great. I do think that the history lessons are solid. However, they are minimal. So if you are looking for an in-depth history curriculum, this is a good spine. However, you will be adding to it. This is just based on some other things that I have seen. That is basically it in a nutshell. I think that this is good. However, based off of what we've experienced, we will not be continuing with it next year. Actually, neither one of my children will be. Now, my son will be building off of this, but my daughter, we're just going to go in a different direction. You know, she's only a 4th grader, and we'll get serious about her history next year. She's just been learning with us for the sake of being together. But for my son, we will not be moving forward with this. However, I'm so thankful for our experience with Mystery of History. I'm so thankful for what we have learned. I am so thankful that my children have been able to see how the Bible is a part of our history and what was happening on the world stage at the same time. I think that that is really, really cool, and I'm thankful for it. So anyway, friends, this video is way too long. I am going to try to edit it to cut it down. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that this answered some questions. There are probably a lot more better videos out there about this, but anyway, yeah, these are my thoughts on Mystery of History. I think it's great. I'm thankful for the time that we had with it, but we will not be continuing on with it. I love the idea, not so crazy about the approach, but hey, you know what? That is the world of homeschool. We learn as we go, and we also can decide what works best for us and our family. So anyway, friends, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye.